Hey, this is Mr. Davis here, and we're talking about the Cartesian plane. So a bit of an introduction here. As you see on the screen, the Cartesian plane, it's the planes formed when a horizontal and a vertical number line cross. So you notice here on the going horizontal, we have a number line starting at 0 here. Going to the right, it's positive. And from the 0 going to the left, it's negative. We call that one the x-axis. And the vertical one, which we see going up here, starting the same at the 0. Going vertically up, we get the positive, and going from the 0 vertically down, we get the negative numbers. So this one we call the y-axis. Okay, so those two, when together, they form the Cartesian plane. So you'll notice that the Cartesian plane is made up into 4 quadrants, is what they're called. And those are numbered so that we know how to navigate around the Cartesian plane. So up here, in this space up here that is formed by the y-axis and the x-axis, so we call that quadrant 1, and we use Roman numerals for that. So there's quadrant 1. We go counterclockwise, this would be quadrant 2, and this is quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So knowing those, that will help us navigate around the Cartesian plane. When we're navigating around the Cartesian plane, we do this in straight line movements only. And the way that we know where we're going, or where we are at a current time, is we use coordinates. And the coordinates, they are the values in an ordered pair. Now an ordered pair, of course, looks like this. So we have our x valued first, and then we have our y value. So what that refers to is, here with the x value, we're talking about the distance we are from the 0 on the number line along the x-axis. Okay, so if our x value is 4, then we're located here along the 4 on the x-axis. Okay, and so our second number in the ordered pair is our value for the y-axis, so where we're located on the y-axis. So if we are in a negative 5, then we are down in a negative 5 down here. So those two combined together give us an ordered pair, and they place us at a point on the Cartesian plane. So as an example, if I use let's say the coordinates are 4, negative 3. Okay, we always have these written in brackets around them. 4, negative 3. So how I would find that is, my x value is first, so from the 0 I will go up to the 4, and then at the 4 my y value is negative 3, so I will go down to the negative 3. So here's where I would place a point, 4 and negative 3. And in order to do that, I will make a big point, 4 and negative 3. And I almost did it in the right spot. So there we have our point placed at 4, negative 3. So those coordinates, or ordered pairs, are how we navigate around the Cartesian plane. So whenever we have an ordered pair that has a positive x value and a positive y value, we know that those coordinates will be inside of the first quadrant, or quadrant 1. Over here in quadrant 2, all ordered pairs that end up within this quadrant will have a negative x value and a positive y value. Down for the third quadrant, quadrant 3, it'll be negative x value, negative y value. And for the last quadrant, quadrant 4, we will have a positive x value and a negative y value. So knowing that helps us know where we will place ordered pairs when we're plotting points. Or we can know quickly if we've made a mistake by looking at the ordered pair and the positive or negative values that are in them. So now let's plot some points here and make a shape on the Cartesian plane. So here we have our ordered pairs. We have 2, 4. So to find this, when I go to find this, 2, remember my x value is always first, then my y value. So I go from the 0 over to the 2 on the x-axis up to the 4. So I'm going to place a point there. 4. Okay, then I have 2 and 8. So over to the 2 on the x-axis, up to the 8 on the y-axis. Put my point there. Then I have 6 and 6. So 6 on the x-axis up to the 6. Okay, now if I connect those in order, I made a little triangle here. Okay, so that is how you plot points on the Cartesian plane. So if we're going to label those, let's say that they had this labeled that this is A, this is B, and this is C. So then I would have them labeled at the point, labeled exactly the same as they have them labeled. Capital A, capital B, capital C. Then I'm done plotting those points and labeling them correctly. So this is the end of the intro into the Cartesian plane.